Today, we discuss the need for a transformative change, a modern revival in spirituality that integrates the knowledge passed down through generations and what YouTube historian What If Althist refers to as SAW, or studies in ancient wisdom, while recognizing the need to respond to the sociological effects of modern technology and incorporate these effects into our core spirituality. SAW represents the knowledge we've seemingly lost but still carry within us, encoded in our DNA through survival instincts that persist despite our modern disconnection. Our ancestry lives on spiritually through the epigenome's influence on the genome, shaped by environmental challenges that have historically tested our survival. However, in our modern world, many of us have nearly lost our survival instincts. Most will not stand up or fight for anything significant until imminent danger is upon us, a time at which it may be too late. This lack of urgency in action leads us toward a path of complacency, where we indulge in hedonism and nihilism until it's too late to plan or act effectively. In a potential collapse, we might end up fighting each other rather than uniting against a common barrier. The pervasive surveillance culture, enabled by our own choices to embrace so-called smart technology, further complicates our ability to organize and resist on a larger scale. We've willingly dumbed ourselves down, hollowing out our spirituality to a point that recovery seems almost impossible for many. Surely, all is not lost. But when considering a birth rate of 1.2 children per woman, we are approaching a non-recoverable situation, one that threatens not just our numbers, but the sustainability of our civilization. As what was traditionally considered the middle class diminishes, society risks collapsing into a working class that many might find unbearable unless we can reignite our appreciation for performing essential tasks and physical labor. Modern conveniences have made survival skills almost obsolete. Why learn them when survival is as simple as going to a grocery store? Yet, we don't think about the complex processes behind this convenience. Resources mined, manufactured, and transported across vast distances to climate-controlled stores. If we continue down this path, we may face a future where we can't recreate these conveniences on a smaller scale in a world with fewer people and resources. We are heading towards a posthuman era, automating ourselves out of existence, yet clinging to the hope that we'll be among the elites who survive and maintain ownership over the remaining automation. Many aspire to be non-essential, enjoying the luxury of remote work and convenience, while the essential workers, the ones who must be physically present, become fewer and more burdened. But this drive for non-essentialism is dangerous. Anything that can be done remotely can also be automated, and AI is rapidly advancing in this direction. The real question is, do we enjoy this path toward non-essentialism? It appears that we do. We embrace automation, believing we'll be the ones left standing, controlling intellectual property, stocks, or cryptocurrency, holding on to the assets of the information age. But is this sustainable for the majority? Probably not. And although many speak of cryptocurrency decentralizing and democratizing the notion of transactions, it still represents a ledger that exists on a digital infrastructure most would not know how to troubleshoot or repair, were we to get hit by an electromagnetic pulse or otherwise lose essential utilities. Therefore, we need a new form of spirituality, one that incorporates the lost wisdom of the ages, as highlighted by SAW. Without this spiritual rebirth, our civilization is doomed. We cannot afford to continue indulging in modern nihilistic and hedonistic thinking, which, though providing temporary luxury, will not lead to the fulfillment we seek. So chase not money, but chase skills and genuine relationships, because at this point, it's quality over quantity. We need to be reborn not just as individuals, but as a civilization. While spiritual traditions have always existed during humanity's tenure on Earth, the specific holy books and movements around today, no matter how sincere in their messages, often struggle against the onslaught of conspicuous consumerism, corporatism, and woke identitarian viewpoints. One can see the new rainbow flags of the time often draped over the front walls of churches in order to broadcast the message that all are welcome there. And while welcomeness is great, The drive to turn back to nature's wisdom and recognize the duties that we are called on to fulfill from birth remains just as great. And these duties are more likely to fulfill us as we ride the fine line between technological advancement and the willingness to retain our survival skills each time a new layer of interdependence is forged in the global economy. It will be difficult, but it will be necessary. This has been Fool Me Twice. Thank you for listening.